It's Saturday and it is time to wash this car. I've kind of neglected it and it is filthy. But man, do I love driving this car. I really need to get a good video of it out on the road since I haven't done that since we built it. But I'm at just under 2,000 miles on it now since we put it together in March. And I've had to have the engine out once between then. Speaking of engine, I still get so excited when I look at that thing. That 340 is just awesome with all that gold Moroso. I love this car. Well, I've got the Dart washed and looks so much better. Like I said just a second ago in the video, I really love this car. But since it's Saturday, I'm going to also do some other work, but I had to get the Super Coupe out of the way. I love that car too. And we're working on the Max Wagon, getting it ready for an event. So we're taking the Max Wagon and the car I'm calling the Duct Tape Dart. We're gonna take these to Tucson Dragway for Duct Tape Drags. So we're gonna have a lot of fun, I hope. And you guys will get to see this car again. And by the way, you're gonna get to see this car in Mopar Collector's Guide, the October issue, which will be available for subscribers on the 1st on the internet, and then on the 1st of August. And the magazine should be out around the 15th for everybody else. And yeah, magazine car right there, guys. And well, you've seen that stuff. Here's the Duct Tape Dart 69. This is also going, we're going to try to get this in the $5,000 beater thing. I mean, aside from the brand new tires we're putting on it and a few other parts, this thing's going as found, and it's been sitting for like 30 years. And I'm doing a whole video on it, so you'll see the complete video. But yeah, we're hoping to have it there. Allen's doing some cleaning on it today, and I'm not sure if I'm going to do any work on it today. Mostly going to focus on the Max Wagon. And because I had to move stuff around, the Challenger was pushed outside for a minute, and which is fine because I got to take it into town to have the framework done on the rear, and I'll show you that in the video of the car. But the rear frame is bent. That's why the body is creased like that. And it's kind of funny because I kept thinking, you know, it looks like the frame's pulled down, but there's no impact damage on the rear. You know, you can't really see that it was rear-ended. But one of the family members of a past owner reached out to me and confirmed it was rear-ended. And so I found the kink in the frame. It's probably can't see it here. Not really, but the frame's kinked, so I've got to go get it lifted on the back, and hopefully that will pull some of that dent out just on its own. But then got a whole bunch of stuff going for this car, because this has got to be ready for the Rat E-Body Challenge at Matt's Las Vegas Project Car Challenge next year, Project Cars at the Strip. So don't mind the parade going on here in Utah. There's a Pioneer Day, 24th of July celebration. But anyway, so yeah, I'll show you a couple more video, or I'll just get more videos. I'm working today, and yeah, fun stuff. Always a good day when you're playing with Mopars. So back to the Max Wagon, couple things we're doing. I've driven it around a little bit now. I've probably actually put close to 30 miles on it, which I know that's not a lot of miles, but on something like this, it's a lot. But it overheats. The radiator is not cooling this engine at all. So we bought a Champion aluminum radiator for it, and I'm going to put that in. Also, as per NHRA rules, it has to have a coolant overflow. So I've got one of those I'm going to install. However, I forgot it. It's in my car at work. And then there is a noise in the rear end again. This clutch is really aggressive, and so sometimes you can get it to ease out, but other times it's like just bam, all of a sudden there. and I'm hoping we didn't hurt something in the rear end, but there's just kind of a noise back there. So that's probably the first thing I'm gonna do is lift it up, put it on jack stands, and climb under it and see what I can find. Hopefully we didn't hurt it. This car is so cool, guys. This is really one of my favorite cars. And it's kind of fun to have, we have 5 of the Shade Tree Vintage Auto / DD Auto and salvage cars here right now. And then actually there's one just down at my parents' house, which is just a block away. And so there's 6 of them right here. Actually 7 if you count a Duster that you guys haven't really seen much of. So that's kind of cool. It's fun to have that many of our cars in one spot. Well, if you guys were ever wondering how ratty the Max Wagon actually is, well, I mean, that's that. The rest of the floors pretty much look like that. So they have sheet metal just put on and welded down. So, I mean, from the top, it looks all right. From the bottom, it's definitely not great. But I mean, this is a really ratty car. That's what it's supposed to be, the Max Wagon. As for, oh, and then like there's the purple Hornies. Those mufflers are really awesome if you want just really loud and obnoxious. They're good. They're perfect for loud and obnoxious. As for the noise in the rear end, I found it. Let me get to a different position. It appears that our pinion snubber is not at the correct angle, or even close to the correct angle. So yeah, we're definitely gonna have to do some fixing there and maybe make a new plate for the body so that there's a little more space for it to grab. I don't know that I've ever seen that before. That's kind of a new one on me. Back to the floor, look at that. Hole with tin. I mean, this is perfect for what we're doing. I love this car. I don't even know if we're ever gonna wash it. It's just awesome. So I know there's gonna be several of you say, well, you should have put the front 2 bolts in there. So this is a 8 3/4 case. This is a 742 case. The one in the car is a 741, but they're fairly similar. As you can see, this is just a pad. There's not a spot to put 2 bolts. And I really don't know that there's enough meat there to actually tap them out and put bolts. So that's not really gonna solve the problem, like, you know, saying I don't have the bolts there, because they're all there. The problem is the pad on the body needs to be a little bit bigger. So I was overlooking at some of my other parts and found that they are different lengths of these pads. And unfortunately, I think this is just a little bit too short for this car, but I think I'm gonna make it work by actually cutting this one across about right here, mounting it upside down on here so that it actually has extra bracing so that it can't bend as easy. Because there's actually full contact underneath, it just happened to slide past it. And so hopefully that will render this issue. If not, then Caltrax. Okay, so I've cut that so it's gonna fit basically like that. And that's just gonna add extra brace so it won't bend again like that. Because like I said, it is getting contact on the body. It's just that it moved enough that it got stuck up there and bent it. And I'm hoping that won't happen again. But like I said, if it does, you know, at least I tried something before we go spend $1,000 on Caltrax stuff, which we really need to do anyway. Well, it's back in, and as you can see, it's got about 2/3 connect right there. So I think what we'll probably do is actually extend this plate. So we'll have to weld something together here. But I'm not gonna be able to do that today. I'll have to do that at a different time. But I'm hoping that this support will help so that it won't bend here now. Because with that truss right there, it should make it quite a bit heavier, hopefully. Okay, now that the rear is done for now, we're gonna move to the front and do the radiator. And one thing I will suggest anytime you're gonna swap a radiator for an aftermarket one is be sure to check everything before you tear your car apart. So this is the Champion radiator. It is aluminum. I just checked and verified that the bottom is on the same side. Now on this one, the top is on the opposite side. The original is right here, this one's here. With that hose, I really don't think that's gonna matter. So I'm just gonna go with it. If I need to run in and get a different hose, then I will. But realistically, I think this is gonna be fine. Honestly, that's gonna actually possibly give us a little more clearance right there where the fuel line's been hitting the hose anyway. But we'll see what happens. Okay, so the radiator's in. I'm about ready to put coolant in it. I did end up using the upper radiator hose that's gonna, for my Super Coupe, and cut it, but it worked perfect as soon as I cut about 8 inches or 10 inches off. I did have to do some modifications on the radiator to make it fit. The notches down on the bottom, I had to oblong or grind to make them about almost 3/4 of an inch higher so that it would sit down where it needed to be. And then down here, hard to see, I had to grind actually off of the side of the radiator so that it would fit down there with the battery tray and everything. Sorry, it got really blurry there for a second. Let's see if I can show you this way. Not really, but so it wasn't like direct fit like it's supposed to be, but it wasn't too bad. It was about maybe 20 minutes of time to get it how I needed it. But anyway, it looks better. Hopefully it cools a lot better. So you can see there's more clearance here. It's actually not even touching the fuel, so that's good. Anyway, time to put some coolant in and fire it up. Okay, I've got the radiator all the way in, coolant in. It's just warming up, so the thermostat will open and fill the engine. Then I can top off the coolant. I've got a 50-50 max, or sorry, 50-50 mix. I know there's a header leak and all that stuff, but hey, this is a ratty car. That's what it's supposed to do, right? That will all change when it gets to 500 stroker. This car is so awesome, just nasty and ratty. Well, took it for a drive to see if it overheat, and I got to a stop sign right here, and it stalled, that sticky clutch, and battery's dead for some reason. So I got a friend coming to jump start it, and we'll get it back, probably put on a charger or put a better battery in it, which it has a pretty small battery really, and then try again. Well, I'm gonna finish off this weekend video just kind of walking around showing you the car, since we have this many together right now. Like you guys already know this one, the Super Coupe. You already know this one. This is the 71 Challenger. That's got to get ready for Matt's Project Car Challenge and the Rat E-Body Challenge. So you're going to see a lot more of that in the future, but I've got to get some framework done. Then of course the Dart. Love this car, my little 340 Swinger that I've built on this channel. Still need to get you guys a lot more video of that car too, because it's just a blast to drive. My buddy's 56 Chrysler, of course the Max Wagon, and so I got that radiator in like you've seen. Battery died, so it has bad head gasket, which we already figured, and the compression is actually building up pressure in the cooling system. So pretty soon we're going to tear it all down, put new head gaskets in it and everything like that. Hopefully that will render it useful for duct tape drags until we get the 500-inch stroker built for it. And then I spoke with my boss, and we are looking at doing Caltrax. So this car is going to be really cool. You guys are going to love it at Duct Tape Drags. Hopefully we love it at Duct Tape Drags and don't break it and blow it up or something. And then of course the duct tape dart. There's a video coming on it shortly. You'll be able to see a whole video of us putting it together and getting it ready for Duct Tape Drags. It's got to be less than $5,000 car, and I figure that car fits the bill because it is really rusty, like really bad. In fact, I got to go find out road signs I'm going to use to fix the floors because the floors have huge holes. But anyway, so watch for the video on that. This one, probably not going to do much of a video on it, but this car will be for sale eventually. We just have to finish it, get it cut and buffed the rest of the way, final assemble. But it does have that 440 and an automatic in it. We didn't build the car, we're just finishing it. It's not going to be a bad car for somebody, but it's a little hot for the street, but still cool. But anyway, it's just kind of cool to, you know, have our own little car show on this Sunday afternoon. And then tomorrow, going to be doing some work on a couple things. And Wednesday, the dart will be built. So watch towards the end of the week for the video of that to drop. And more on the Max Wagon and more on the Super Coupe. Actually on pretty much the Super Coupe, the Challenger. Probably not so much on the dart, but on the white one. But that one for sure will be more, yeah, kind of repeating myself. Anyway, so be sure to hit that subscribe button so you can follow along. There's also a lot of other content coming up shortly. I'm trying to finish a video on the AdCar 70 Roadrunner, as well as some other stuff. The 69 Roadrunner convertible is just about ready to go to Dave at Rust Bucket Restos. Guys, there's a ton of cool stuff coming up, tons of it. So be sure to follow along and let me know what you want to see. So thanks again. Hey everybody, Jeremy here from Shade Tree Vintage Auto, and I have a really bad problem. I have a super greasy engine bay. Have you guys ever wondered the easiest and best way to clean something and go from this nasty mess? Look at that. There's like literally an inch of grease to this clean and workable area in just a few easy steps. Well, I'll tell you how. With Super Clean, I used the Super Clean regular as well as the foaming, and look at that. This was an extreme case with over an inch of grease and road grime, and that is a nice, clean, workable area that you're not going to get too dirty. For more information, go to superclean.com. You can also purchase this at O'Reilly's, Walmart, and different places like that. Super Clean.